The first up is going to be O'Malley's Oven. Melanie O'Malley will be presenting a specialty bakery utilizing a middle school's cafeteria kitchen to make gluten-free pastries and desserts.
Hi. Congratulations, Startup Tech Valley, on your 100th pitch. That's awesome. My name's Melanie O'Malley, and I am a baker. I bake gluten-free products. In 2012, I was diagnosed with celiac, which is a gluten intolerance with the added bonus of being an autoimmune disease, so your body just hates you. And back then, products that are gluten-free were not very great, because it was a new thing, learning how to substitute flours. I don't know where to point this. So what is gluten? Gluten is a protein that's found in grain: wheat, barley, rye, spelt, derivatives thereof, modified food starch. Some people, like Dan in yogurt, puts modified food starch in their yogurt. Awesome. What does that do? That gluten protein is shaped like a hook. So your body produces an enzyme, coats the hook, so you can digest it. If you cannot coat that hook, your body is an unhappy body. This is obviously a very simplified explanation of what gluten intolerance is. For baking and what that hook does in your food, think of it like monkeys in a barrel. You pull the monkeys out of the barrel, they hook arms, everything holds together. You cut your pie, and you put the piece of pie on a plate, and it remains pointy and delicious looking. Celiac disease in the United States is estimated to be 0.5 to 1% of the population, and that is within the not at-risk population. So that's not even taking into account genetic predisposition. What I bake, though, is are products that are designed to be delicious and a wonderful experience to eat that just so happen to be gluten-free. So if you've had dinner at a restaurant and you're feeling very satisfied and you decide to go the extra mile and have dessert, and you're presented with this massive, sweet, decadent thing, you eat it because it's awesome, and then you feel kind of junky afterward, a little sleepy, a little laden. The sugar remains in your mouth, and that has nothing to do with your dietary predispositions. That's just a lot of sugar. So what I try to do is balance the whole dessert. So to do that with the flour as the base for gluten-free, everything has 3 to 4 different flours in the blend. You need your protein and your starches to be balanced. That gluten, protein, and wheat is what makes the magic happen. And so coconut flour, for instance, has a lot of protein, but it's light in weight as opposed to sorghum, which can be kind of dense. Early on, sorghum flour was used a lot. That's why gluten-free food has a reputation of being a brick. If anyone has had a chance to try, and there are some left, there's salted caramel eclairs to your right, and those are not bricks. And that's the trick of the whole thing. So by balancing the protein, the fat, and the starch, some recipes that you wouldn't traditionally put an egg in, like a pie crust. I don't know if anyone here has made pie crust from scratch. You don't usually use an egg. In a gluten-free pie crust, the egg goes a long way to make that flaky, delicious crust happen. So it's a little bit different of a balance. And that's how you get products that look like edible, delicious products. So for my purposes, I want you to look at the product and want to eat it. And then I want you to eat it and not be disappointed. Moreover, I want you to be thoroughly pleased. Part of that being thoroughly pleased is the balance. So take this cake, for instance. That cake, the cake itself was a lemon chamomile cake. Nice, rich flavor, but not overly sweet in the cake itself. The icing is where the decadence is, with a hint of lavender to lift it off your palate. And then the filling was a lemon curd, so you have that nice brightness. So when you're done eating your piece of cake, you don't still feel it in your mouth. You just feel content and happy that you've had this nice treat. And that's kind of the philosophy behind the experience that I want people to have when they eat my product. So we're looking at deceptively simple food. It looks decadent. It looks like it's going to put you over the top, but it is actually very simple, straightforward home cooking. It's luxury meets value. People with celiac disease expect their food to be more expensive than they trust that care has been taken to keep them safe. I try to keep it in the surprisingly affordable realm of luxury so that people are really excited to be able to eat it. And the rest of my clientele who do not need to eat gluten-free can enjoy it. Sorry. I'm not technically savvy, I'm a baker. So with where I'm at now, with incubating at Skodak Central Schools, which has been amazing, they're over there next to the eclairs and wonderful human beings. I am able to cater to events, do wholesale products. I sell at the Troy Farmers Market and market through social media. So I'm already knocking off the first 3 things. I just wanted to put it up there again because Skodak has been so amazing. In my kind of growth chart. Thus far, I am completely funded by myself and seizing opportunities as they come and garnering as much knowledge as I can gain from brilliant people around me. And I am getting to the point where I can't do it on my own. I know what I don't know, which is marketing beyond Facebook and word of mouth, and business savvy, and being able to take that next step to brick and mortar, which is ultimately the plan, to have a cafe that anyone can walk into and want to eat. So that's what I'm here to look for, is advice on marketing, advice on funding, grants, that sort of stuff to help me learn more and grow more, and eventually grow to a storefront. Thank you very much. Are there any questions?
I would just like to say that your food is just so wonderfully tasty.
Oh, thank you. He said the food is wonderfully tasty, if you didn't hear it up there. Yes?
What are your prices like?
My prices. He asked what my prices are like. At the farmer's market, for instance, I sell 4-inch tarts that I would consider 2 servings. Those are $6, and they are full of, I described earlier, I think to you and your friend, a lemon curd tart with bourbon-reduced blueberries on top. They are chock full. They are not skimping. I am trying to keep it as reasonable as possible. Yes? He asked if I have regular customers. I have a few regular customers and growing every week the longer I'm at the farmer's market. And what's very interesting about my regular customers is I would say that I'm 60-40 right now. 60% normal people who can eat whatever they want, and 40% celiacs, and every week the celiac or gluten intolerant grows. But I'm retailing to the entire breadth of the baking market.
What's the biggest challenge?
What?
What's the biggest challenge you have in letting people know that what you have is actually more healthy?
The biggest challenge that I have, was the question, is that gluten-free food has a stigma. People don't expect it to be yummy, essentially. So the biggest challenge I have is getting people to try the food initially, and then as soon as they try it, we're in like Flynn. So in marketing, it's kind of destigmatizing the gluten-free genre. Yes?
I have a friend who insisted you can't make a cake without gluten. She says you just can't.
Well, pick up my business card and pass her along to me. All right.
So, people usually think of gluten-free as not as good, as you said before.
Yeah.
So do you have samples? Like, how do you convince people to try yours?
Well, they're dwindling, but there are some samples there. At the farmer's market, I do generally have a few samples, but in aiming to keep my stuff priced more in the realm of regular food, people are that much more willing to give it a try because they're not like, oh, this is $10 for a small dessert. It's a normal price range, a little bit higher because cost of manufacturing and everything, I do need to try to make money. But keeping the prices down makes it more accessible, and I'm always happy to give a free sample because I can stand behind my product because I know that it's pretty darn good.
Let's give her a hand.